Welcome back to another review, this time for the anime New Panty and Stocking with Garterbelt, which had 13 episodes and was airing in summer of 2025. Synopsis from any list. The bitches are back. In Darton City, a realm between heaven and hell, sinister spirits known as ghosts prowl the streets, feeding on human desires and resentment. Yet in the darkest moments, two figures emerge to obliterate these vengeful beings with a divine light beyond human understanding. Their names? Panty and Stocking. These fallen angel sisters have been tasked with purging the darkness engulfing the earth. But who are they really? Are they truly messengers of God or agents of the devil? So, this show is mostly comedy, gags. It makes fun of, popular IPs, and it is somewhat over the top. Now, the idea is, or the overarching story, we have these two fallen angels, Panty and Stocking, and they got banished, and on Earth, their job is to get rid of these ghosts. And if they get rid of a ghost, they get a little coin. If they gather enough coins, they can buy back their angel license or whatever. They can go back to heaven. That is the idea. Now, every episode has like 2 or 3 parts. That each part is a story. Sometimes they continue, sometimes not. And these stories take place in the city, Darton City, and with the overarching story in the background of Panty and Stocking gathering these, medals. Now, this show is very over the top. It is rated R, I believe, which it should be, in my opinion. And it does not hold back anything. It is vulgar at points. This is one of the big parts of the show. However, it is never really serious. It is all for, jokes. It is over the top to be over the top. It is like, look at this, look at that. We don't care. We are just going to make fun of stuff and just show you some interesting stuff we have prepared. And it is going fast. It is not slowing down at all. It goes, the story beats are really going by quickly, and sometimes I even had the feeling it was on 2x speed, which it was not, but it is running at breakneck speed, the show. And some of the things they do is like, holy crap, I never would have imagined a show going that far. I know I never really watched the original, but I do know that one also was pretty out there. So if you're okay with it, you can have a pretty good time here. There's a lot of stuff going on. You can just be entertained by watching the show. You don't need to worry about, overarching story and, this, that. No, just enjoy the show. You have like the 2 main characters, Panty, she's a bitch. She just likes to fuck around, literally, not figuratively. She is more or less every episode. And then we have Stocking, which is the black-haired girl. Panty is the blonde one. And Stocking, she likes to eat. She likes sweets. She loves sweet stuff. She's just eating sweet stuff. And those are their characters. This is all you need to know. You don't need to know any more. We also get introduced to the 2 demon sisters. I forget, Scanty and Knee Socks. Right. Now, why these names? If you don't know, the angels, they have a weapon, and the demons also have a weapon. Now, their names are their weapons. Meaning, Panty has a gun and Stocking has a sword. To get these weapons, they have to Panty has to pull off her panty, and that one transforms into the gun. That is why there's a little bow on the gun. Details, yay. And this is the part you don't need to worry about. Just ignore, just have fun. It's over the top. You know, just enjoy the show. And the similar stocking has to remove one of her stockings to get her sword. Which, you know, interesting idea. We also have some minor characters. We have Garterbelt, which is he's a priest. The black man guy. He's like a priest guy. We also have Brief, because he has boxer briefs, which is the orange hair guy. And they just have fun. There are a lot of homages, especially the title screen, because every of these 3 parts of the episode, they have like a title screen. We have the ones I at least have seen, or some of the ones that I have at least recognized, like Indiana Jones. We have like Star Wars homages. We have Silence of the Lamb, and a bunch more, a ton more. We make fun of the movies, like Indiana Jones. We are like trying to more or less not rob historical side, but you know, we are there to find out what is happening. And the Star Wars one is a little bit special. I can definitely see the parallels to what is shown in Panty and Stocking and the original. If you're a movie buff, I feel like you can get a lot more out of these little stories. Overarching story-wise, there's not much going on. It feels like the beginning of the season had like, hey, we are setting up some story. The middle part is like there's no overarching story a little bit. We get introduced to some characters that are important for the quote-unquote overarching story. And the end bit is then going back into the what really is going on. Is it important? It is not. You don't need to care about any of that. This is one of the shows you just need to get the introduction to the characters. And then you can just tune in to any episode, enjoy it, and be done. You don't need to watch every episode, theoretically. However, if you enjoy it, you know, there's a lot going on. I like the art style. I like the animation. I like the switch ups we have every now and then. They are really nice. Now, I felt like later on some of the animation was going down a bit. Now, I do recognize that some parts were deliberate, especially the police guy, which I definitely see why this was. It is more or less a cutout that they just move around on the screen, which is pretty funny. And because he's just like a cutout, to have him turn into the other way, they just mirrored him. You can clearly see they just mirrored him for the lulz, because it is clearly visible. They could have just done the mirroring without being recognizable, because they have something written on his chest. They have police written on his chest, and that is clearly seen as mirrored. If they wanted to hide it, they could have removed that, but they wanted to show it off. Again, there's a lot of stuff going on. It is very entertaining, don't get me wrong. The comedy is somewhat, I wouldn't say niche, but not what anime viewers are used to, because it is somewhat more into the mature area. Again, we have a main character that just likes to fuck around. In one of the episodes, she was fucking Santa Claus. I mean, and not like, oh, it's behind the scenes. No. They are not shy about any of that, which is interesting, because I believe this is Japanese, which is crazy with all the other stuff we get from Japan and being a lot more tame. Okay, let me show off some animation. This one I like a lot. We can see Stocking a little bit in action. I like her a lot more than Panty, FYI. Not that you should care. There you go. I mean, you clearly saw this is a rock, paper, scissors tournament. Standard. Now let's see, rating-wise on any list. People have it at 79% or 80%, which is pretty high. My anime list at 8.01, 13k votes. So this is a pretty good indicator of what people thought about this. Pretty high notes, I have to admit. I would say it is hard. I mean figuratively, not literally, because of the subject. There is a lot going on, and they have such a variety of comedies that you most likely will find something that is going to be enjoyable. Overall, it is a very enjoyable show because it goes by so quick, and you don't need to worry about much outside. So it's a pretty good brain-off show to enjoy. I would say I like the animation as the art style. I like some of the animation. I especially like whenever they turn into their more 3D selves. There were some CG that looked pretty good. I would say it's an 8 out of 10. For me, a lower 8 out of 10. However, if I had to recommend shows this season and someone just wanted a brain off, comedy, some a little bit over the top, and they were not shy about some subjects, this definitely fits all those boxes.